Greetings and welcome to Chantasama Day. I have something to play. Just listen up here.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving and the food and this all kind of food in your stomach, and then more food for Christmas, and then it's just it's overstimulated. It's gonna get to a point where it's a breaking point, and Hisasi the first is gonna see it, and the earth is gonna have another flood or another some kind of natural disaster.
So that was my son. He had a moment of prophesizing. But, he talked about Thanksgiving and all the food, and then Christmas, all the food, and eating and just being weighted down. And, I mean, it's interesting. Young people are seeing that, and some people don't want to, participate, be participants in it. So, but anyway, welcome to Chantasama Day. I wanted to preface it with my son's take on all of the stuff that's going on in the world, because how I raised my children, they didn't participate in the American holiday system. I look at it as an oppressive system, so it's like I'm being oppressed, but yet in order for me to feel good and have fun and be in light and lift the oppression off, I have to give my money, my hard working money, to the oppressor that has oppressed me. And this mental slavery is an illness, because it brings a disastrous kind of you know result. Because greetings, blessed greetings, lovely lady Chawa. How are you doing? And strawberry underscore adventures. Hi. Hi. Baby. Hi, babies. Turkish. Oh my goodness, we have people from Turkey. So we're talking, and then you from Turkey, you should know, right? You're in a different country than the U.S. What do you celebrate? What is your country push for the people in the country to celebrate? Because in the U.S., this is what's pushed. We have Halloween. We start in October, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then New Year's, then Black History Month skipped over, and then we have Easter, and all that. Um, so my son, he talked about all of that is overstimulating. He mentions it. Strawberry Adventures, are you being nice? Your message has been retracted. What's happening? Let's stay nice on this. And thank you for liking the video. That's one way to stay nice. Oh, and don't forget Valentine's Day. Yeah, thank you. We forgot about that. February, we got Valentine's Day. Yeah, so we have these different, my son calls it overstimulation. I call it distractions that distracts us from looking within, because when you look without all the time, when those things aren't there, you're going to feel empty, right? So, in order not to feel empty, you have to build what's inside. How do you do that? This is one way we chant a psalm. Strawberry Adventures, I mean, Strawberry underscore Adventures. Why are you asking me how old I am? How old do you think I am? Why don't you guess? You guess how old I am, I will give you a prize. I'll send you one of my healing miracle oils. 23? Are you kidding? Look at me now. Do I look like I'm 23 for real? I went out yesterday night. I went out to pick up some food. We were going to order out, my son and I decided to sit in the restaurant. So I ordered a beer. I ordered a beer, a Corona. And I wanted a lime, but they had no lime. So I got to go get me some Corona with a lime today. Anywho, I sat there and I ordered the Corona, and she said, I need your ID. I said, what? You need my ID? For what are you talking about? You need my, she said, we have to. So I pulled out my driver license and I gave her the driver's license. And she looked at me, she looked at the driver's license. She said, you do not look this age. She was puzzled. She just was like scratching her head. And I was like, I'm grown, I'm serious. And I guess she might have thought that wasn't my ID or whatever. But yeah, where's my ID? I'll show you all. But the picture, that's me. And in the ID, I look younger than I look younger in the ID. But anyway, I am not 23 years old. But this is not this is not alive to talk about how old I am. This is not that kind of party. It's the miracle oil. Look at Chawa. I'm going to be the advertiser for the miracle oil. My son gave it a name. I'm not going to tell the name. I only told the name to one person on the phone yesterday. But yeah, I'm not telling the name of this. I am getting it trademark, patent, all of that, because, and then bottled up, and I have some soaking. So I'm excited about that. The miracle oil. It's a miracle, and I use it on my skin. It's for external purposes. And if you look at my channel, I did a video on my favorite drink, and my favorite drink is a smoothie. Yes, I had a Corona, but my favorite drink is a smoothie, and it has moringa powder in it, and it turns green. It's delicious. Oh my goodness. You don't even know. And it's powerful because it cleans you from the inside out. Remember, this Chantasam is about looking at your inside. Whether it's literally looking at your liver, your kidneys, looking at your heart, your lungs, looking at your inside literally, and then looking at that inside energy that you have that people call your spirit, or your, people say I'm animated, right? Your personality, that energy, that your soul, that life inside of you. A hot lemon water. Yes. I had my tea this morning, and then I went to make some more tea, and the burnt up the teapot. So I don't have a teapot. I have to go out and buy a teapot. So anybody, send me some money to buy a teapot. Anyway, but yeah, now that's another expense. I have to get a teapot. So I need a new teapot because my teapot is gone. The place almost burned down. Goodness, it did not. My teapot didn't whistle, and it just burnt. Exploded not exploded, but it just like smoked up the whole place. But yes, hot lemon water is another thing. Chawa, you've been listening. Thank you so much. You've been listening. Squeezing a lemon in hot water with your tea bag, and caffeine-free tea is the best. Roots tea is the best. That busts the stomach gut. So people who have, a stomach because they're not working out, or they're eating a lot of meat, or they're drinking a lot of alcohol or whatever, you're going to get a stomach. That's why I don't want to drink too much Coronas. I don't want a bare belly. So, but in order to bust that, the hot lemon water is the best. So Chawa has been listening. So we're 10 minutes in. Let's get to the psalm, because today I have a schedule today, and I have to stay on that schedule. So I am sharing myself with you all. So thank you for sharing this video, for liking the video, rather, not share, but liking the video. I have sunshine coming in from in here, as you can see right up here. I can go like that. You can see me a little better. But Yeah, we have that.
Got anything else? Just
Close that
fries,
this one curtain.
my toast.
Yeah, let me see if the sunlight will go away a little bit. Well, not go away, but it's like this bright. Okay. It's
God.
my son.
Close the window. Close the curtains. You gotta close the blinds.
Oh,
Drop these down.
behind it. Yeah. Let's see if that might help. My son is the set person. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's kind of better. We have something better happening. Okay. Okay, so let's get into the psalm. It's snowy where you are. Where are you, Chawa? Are you in the north, west, east, or south? You don't have to say where you are because people are crazy and creepy. And they, I can't say where I'm at either. But wherever you are, just, use the directional locations. Oh, you're in New York. You're up in the east. Yeah. Okay. You're not too far from me then. Yeah, you're not too far from where I am. So anyway, let's dive into the psalm. We looking at Psalm 59. Now Psalm 59, y'all, is I have this piece of hair that's coming out of my coming out of my wrap. See, I got hair, the hair is coming all the way down. It's coming all the way down. But anyway, um breathe. We just have to breathe. Let's get into the psalm. This psalm is where is my psalm? 59. But before I do that, I wanted to thank you for liking the video, first of all. And thank you for showing up and being present with the video, with this chant psalm. I've been getting a lot of phone calls, and people have been reaching out to me about being a guest on their, podcast, and being a guest on their, show, and being a guest on their thing, and all this stuff. And I am just feeling like my son said, this is overstimulating. So I want to keep on doing the chant psalm. However, I don't know if I'm going to keep this going. You have to tell me whether I should keep it going, or, it's okay to just kind of end it. I will continue doing my psalm, but I'm not going to do it live, in other words. So I'm reassessing that for the year 2024. I'm looking at what has happened, what has impacted, and what is needing to be done. Because I had my new year September 11th. So on my new year, my focus was on new beginnings, new. Because the previous new year, September 11th, my focus was self-care. Self-care. So this year, September 11th, my new year was about embracing the new. So September 11th, when I had my new year, I embraced the new by doing something I wouldn't have done. Gone, take myself out for my birthday. I've never done that. So that was my New Year's, people call it resolution, but it wasn't a resolution. It was a practice, to practice putting myself, as the center,
I don't know if you want more tofu or anything.
Okay, wow, look at the We have here, look at this. I got my breakfast, y'all. While I'm chanting the psalm. And we have to have practices. Sunday service, and happy Monday, everyone. You love chanting something. Thank you. Thank you, Chawa. We have practices, and we practice things because there's a result that we expect to happen. These are the fries I ate.
It's okay?
Yep,
Tofu is good?
really good. And I
You
love
want
the
English muffin or anything?
Is there any more? I thought I used the last one yesterday. So, my son made some tofu scrambled. I have some fries from yesterday night when I went out to pick up our food. It's okay. I don't need any bread. I had bread for enough bread already. Too much bread. I don't eat too much bread. And so I have the fries, and I have some plant-based sausages. So good. Oh my goodness, it's making me smile. It's so good.
You want some pasta sauce?
Oh my goodness.
Barbecue sauce? That's cranberry sauce on the side.
It's just a taste in my mouth that's really good.
Wow.
My mouth has a taste, and when I eat the food, it's attaching to the taste in my mouth, and it's making it so good. So my son, he likes, cranberry. I think this is cranberry
fruit
right
on
there.
it.
It's a fruit on the side, no more fruit, so we use that. But let me get this. I don't like when my computer goes to sleep and I gotta put the passcode back in again. I keep doing that. It's annoying. Anywho, thank you for liking this video. But the psalm today,
You like your tofu? Like, I'm not fried that much.
the psalm today,
Is it okay?
it's delicious. The tofu is, oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm gonna start with the verse today. The verse today is coming from Hebrews. So Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1 to 2. Okay, so we're gonna start with that, with Hebrews. I'm glad I'm eating this while I'm chanting the psalm, because then that I'm doing two things at one time and getting that done,
The fries is good.
I'm telling you, the fries are good. I don't want all. Did you get some?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you don't want, just don't eat it. You want some juice?
I need something to drink. So,
Some water? Want fruit punch?
yeah. So this psalm today, it kind of scared me, because it's it's very, and I need like a napkin. The psalm today is very powerful and is brutal for people who have tried to do you wrong, and they're in, I have a friend that's going through that right now. And this psalm is, for people that, thank you, Tessa, give thanks, for people that are going through, tribulations or some kind of trials. This Psalm 59 is for those who are going through where someone is plotting against them to really kind of hurt them, or to basically get them off the earth, like to get rid of them. So this is a serious psalm. I look at this psalm even in terms and in light of our ancestors, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, um, these ancestors that came before us, um, that had to deal with this. So this is something that is happening to David, who wrote the psalm. David wrote this psalm, and it is yummy. It's delicious. He's got to open a restaurant. He's got to open something, because this is just, I'm like, dude, you got to open something. So anyway, this psalm is 17 verses. We're going to get right into it and unpack it, because, it's coming right in time for my friend who's, going through, some things, and it's a destroying kind of feeling. People try to destroy you. So I don't really like cranberry sauce like this in a can. It's jiggly.
Eat some fruit, just a little piece. With the tofu, sweet and salty.
It reminds me of when I was a little girl for Thanksgiving, dressed up as a pilgrim or a whatever, and they gave us these cranberry out of a can. That's what it reminds me of, and I don't like it. Thank you.
Oh, that's good.
You would like it, yeah. I don't. Everybody has different likes. I don't like that.
It tastes fresh. It's like bursting. You really don't want it?
No, I don't. It's good for you though. So let's get into this. Let's get into this. So, in Psalm 59, as I was talking about it, let me get some water. As I was talking about it, I'm telling you that this psalm is looking at, there's a story about David. David was being watched. He was being watched. He was Saul. Saul sent soldiers to watch David's house because Saul wanted to kill David. Okay. And David wrote this psalm, in response to that. Now, how did David know that Saul sent these folks? Listen to the psalm, and you'll figure it out. Okay. I got my Planters peanuts. So here we go. Verse 1. Oh, wow. I would love that to put a tofu on top of that. I'm going to save that tofu, because I could take this and put the tofu scrambled on top of that for my lunch today. Anyway, we're at the we're about 30 minutes after the hour, and I'm kind of late. I have to go. I have 10 o'clock office hours. But anyway, in verse 1, it jumps off immediately. You gonna pack it for me, right? Okay.
I haven't packaged yet. You ain't leaving yet.
Okay. Verse 1 jumps off right away with deliver. Immediately it jumps off with that. Deliver I from I enemies, O Most High, O my righteousness. And it says my God. So that's personal. That's within you. You're going to be delivered from your enemies, oh my God, yourself, right? Hi, Connie. Everyone's back to work Monday morning. I know. We're back on the plantation. How are you, Connie? Blessed to see you. I hope you're having a good day at work as you start off your 5 days returning to work. I have to return to work today too. Fridays is my final day actually. Well, not my Friday's not my final day, but yeah, things are moving. Yes, I am blessed, highly favored, and wonderfully made. I'm good too. And I love to see that you're getting out, Connie, and you are also blessed, highly favored, and wonderfully made. So thanks for joining Chanta Psalm. We're on Psalm 59, talking about being delivered from our enemies and being protected from those that rise up against us. Yes, amen and amen again. And in Sunday service yesterday, Pastor Sarah talked about the um, the promise and talked about the practice. We have to practice that we know about the promise. The promise is we're gonna be okay, but we have to practice that, right? So the Sunday service was about that, and today's psalm is about basically how that looks. How does it look when we practice goodness and mercy and love? What does that look like? And how can we use that to help us fight against these things that are outside of us? That's the enemy. And then the enemy could be our own self telling us we're not good enough. We tell ourselves these things. So we are our own worst enemy. So we have to be available for ourselves. We're available for everybody else. We got to be available for ourselves. So in verse 1, deliver I and I from mine enemies, O my most high, O my righteousness that's within me. Protect I and I from those that rise up against me. And verse 2 is another deliver. So we have two delivers, verse 1 and verse 2. Verse 2, deliver I and I from those that work evil, and save I and I from bloodthirsty folks, okay, that want to see my bloodshed. So David was serious. He was like, they want to get rid of me. They want to kill me and see my dead body. So in verse 3, David is specific. He's like, look, for behold, this is what folks are doing. They're lying with their mouths and with their bodies. Oh, thank you, Connie. Yes, it shows growth. Yes, I'm growing into the reality that, it's over, basically. There's no going back. So in moving forward, I see how I'm saved and I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. So in verse 3, we see that that ones that are trying to work evil, right, are lying. They're lying in wait for your life. And these fierce folks are stirring up strife against you, right? And it's no transgression of yours, nothing you've done wrong, no fault of yours. Ones are running and making ready, right? So in verse 4, it's like awake. Connie, you're mentioning this about growing. Growing is about awakening. So awakening, coming to meet, me and see. Because in verse 5, it's only the Lord God of hosts, the Most High of I and I Most High, my God, is going to rouse to punish the nations and folk. I can't do that. I can't punish anyone. I can't do that to anyone. And none is going to be spared that treacherously plot evil and wrongness, Selah. Okay? there's not going to be anyone spared who are putting themselves into wrongness. So each evening one these evil folks are coming back each evening. Each evening. And they're described as howling as dogs. You see, my dog was barking, right? And they're prowling about the city. And in verse 7, there they are, bellowing with their mouths, swords in their lips, for who they think will hear us. They are not thinking about God hearing them, listening to them, or anything. They are not thinking about that. However, righteousness and goodness and mercy, that is God, is going to laugh at folks who are trying to treacherously plot wrongness. And they're going to be held, all the nations that, go astray, murdering folks and all this stuff, are going to be in derision. So verse 9 now, this is Psalm 59, verse 9, that strength of righteousness, O my strength, I will watch for you. Yeah, you see that? You're going to look for that strength. And that strength is your fortress, is your shield. And what is that strength described as? In verse 10, that strength is your God. And that strength is your steadfast love. That's going to meet you. Okay? That steadfast love will let you look in triumph on your enemies, on these folks that are treacherously plotting evil. Right? You're going to look and look in triumph on these enemies. And in verse 11, it's kind of brutal. I don't like this word here at all. Kill. So these evil is going to be killed, because it has to be lest people forget. Okay. Evil is going to be killed, is going to be tottering through the power of righteousness, and evil is going to be brought down, because righteousness is a shield. Righteousness is a shield. And in verse 12, we see that the utterance or the words of evil, treacherous, plotting folks, right? It talks about this as a sin. And for the sin of their mouths, the words of their lips, let these sinful mouths and words be something that traps the people who speak these in their pride, for the cursing and lies that folks utter. They will be consumed in wrath, and consumed meaning in a fire till they are no more, that they may know that God rules. Righteousness rules to the ends of the earth, Selah. That is what's going to rule. So instead of having cursing and lies and uttering having sinful mouths and words on the lips, cursing and all this stuff, instead of doing that, go and do righteousness, because that is what is going to be that power and that shield. So in verse 14, we have four more verses. It talks about they still coming back. Each evening they come back. They howling as dogs. They prowling about They wander about for food. They growl if they don't get their fill. This seems like kind of zombie-ish demonicness, um, that each evening they're returning with this kind of behavior. So in verse 16, this is what we are to do. We are to chant of the strength of the righteousness of the Most High and be glad for that because we see what's out there going on. I will chant aloud of the steadfast love in the rise, right? And that's what I'm doing right now. In the rise, I'm chanting of the steadfast love that's kept I and I from wrongness, from evil. Because that steadfast love has been a fortress of safety in the day of my distress. That strength, I will chant Isis, music, make melody to righteousness, for righteousness is a fortress, and righteousness knows and shows steadfast love to I and I. So be I could not be who I am without that. And I'm glad for that. And I'm thankful for the psalm today because that gives me a foundation of never giving up on that steadfast love, even though it may feel far away. I have to remember it's within. It's all within. It's inside there. And all I have to do is be alone in a moment of time and embrace that and embrace it. Um, and embracing that is giving myself permission, right? Um, and when I look at the verse today, let me see, the verse today, it reminds me, in Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2, it talks about the last days. And in these last days, righteousness has spoken through ones, right? Righteousness has spoken through the Son, through Jesus, through Moses, through these ones, whom righteousness appointed heir of all things, right? So when we look at Hebrews, it speaks of in the past, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets, right? At many times and in various ways. But in these last days, God has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, and through whom also he made the universe. So this is Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1 to 2. And it really, echoes this truth that we have an advocate. Things may get bad, things may look wrong, things may be whatever, but we have an advocate, and that advocate gives us permission to love ourselves. We have to love ourselves. So I wanted to quickly look at the word today because the word today is about the divine order, and it kind of sums up the Psalm today 59 that looks at these enemies out there trying to do you harm, and the verse today about these final days and this one that's been appointed, Jesus, has been appointed, and that's the one, that's the name that they call. I look at the ancient names, We're not going to get into names and all that. We just look at what that one represents. And that representation is love and humility and forgiveness and kindness and honor and all of that. So when we see the Psalm 59 and then the verse of the day today, and then I look at the word today, divine order, it brings it all together beautifully. So no matter what I'm called to do, I begin with God. So whatever you're called to do, whatever you have an assignment, you begin with righteousness, begin with love and kindness. So whenever, this is what the word speaks today. Whenever I want to accomplish something, work toward a goal, or realize a dream, I begin by going within. So when we talk about begin with righteousness, you're beginning with what's inside of you. That righteousness and goodness that's inside of you, you're beginning with that. So before I begin, I commune with righteousness. I talk to myself, my goodness. That's God within you. I begin with that. And when you begin with that, it centers you in the truth of an orderly creation, because you hold the vision of what you wish to create and claim the divine ideas, prosperity, zeal, strength that are the building blocks of manifestation. So I go about my work understanding that each step I take toward my goal builds on the steps that came before it. This gives me strength to remain patient and unflappable when hiccups may arise. Through it all, I remember divine order is at work, and righteousness is within me throughout the process. So, righteousness is that greatest gift of divine order, right? Knowing the creative power of righteousness flows through you. It's flowing through you. And when we fight each other and argue, we stop it from flowing and we bring on something else. So we have to release and return to that flow, that I call it the God flow. And this word today is brought to us by Proverbs 16, verse 9. And Proverbs 16, verse 9 speaks about the human mind. The human mind plans the way, right? However, righteousness directs the steps. So human beings, like a friend of mine, planning their life out, what I want to plan out, right? You're planning, that's human mind plans the way. However, righteousness directs the steps. Your steps are directed in righteousness. So Proverbs 16, verse 9, this gives us a good ending to our Chanta Psalm today, because it's all about that divine order. How do you keep yourself in a divine order? What do you do? So the human mind plans. This is what divine order looks like. How does it look like for you? How do you keep yourself in a divine order? Proverbs 16 verse 9 talks about, you know what? Plan and allow righteousness to flow within you to direct your steps. Blessed greetings of love and tranquility with great gratitude for the Most High daily, El Su. Thank you so much for joining Chantasama Day. As we end the Psalm, I want to say thank you for joining, and let me know when you get your miracle oil. As a matter of fact, if anybody wants any, please put your orders in today, because the middle of December 20th, I'm going to start bottling up and sending out. So you can have them before the year's out or at the beginning of the year. So thank you so much for joining Chantasama Day. We are out of time. And let's see. I just want everyone to have a blessed day, and to remember, stand in love, don't fall in it. Yep, stand in love, don't fall in. Um, thank you, one love for all for one love. So we have to really give thanks for this day and remember we are blessed, highly favored, and what? Wonderfully made because we know that from inside. Have a blessed day, everyone, and great love to all. Connie, same to you. I love your words. Have a blessed day, everyone. Stay tuned. We got more happening. I'll fill you in, everyone. Not probably on live, but I'll call you guys, you ladies. Blessed good morning. Thanks so much for joining Chanta Sama Day. Have a blessed day, everyone. Take good care.